Hillary is on trial tonight in West Virginia, and we will deliver the results. But first up, Quentin Hardy of Forbes, Kudlow & Company contributor Jerry Bowyer of Benchmark Financial, and CNBC contributor Vince Farrell of Scotsman Capital Management. Welcome, gentlemen. Quentin Hardy, it looks like this is all about oil and gasoline at the pump. Every day we get more bad news. Today, I think the national average rose to $3.73. And you know what's the interesting story? Motorists vote. That's right. Motorists vote. They also consume. And there is a primary tonight and an election coming up in November. So, Quentin, let me ask you, old buddy, who's going to take the oil and gas price solution in this election? Who's going to take it?
Well, you know, I think, Larry, it can't be great news for McCain, who's put himself close to Bush, who today came out and said the solution is to drill more and build more refineries, which is the kind of thing he's been saying for years as oil prices have crept up. He has not done a thing to get us off what he proclaimed to be our addiction to oil.
Who said drill more? Who said drill more? Bush or McCain?
Bush said that today.
Bush
said that today.
Well, he's completely right. He's completely right, Quentin. For heaven's sakes, the guy's got the story right and nobody wants to listen to him.
No, get demand down. Get a better fuel efficiency going. Get alternatives out there. Drill too, but think vision. You know, think of something else. Think of relief to working people, and I don't mean that cockamamie gas tax cut that McCain suggested and Hillary ran after. I mean something meaningful for people. They're feeling pain at the pump. They will want change. They will be against the status quo of the Republicans.
All right, Jerry Bowyer, I'm going to give you a whack at the same question. I just want to add on to this that traffic in the United States is down as much as it's been down or more for 20 years. So the high gas prices at the pump are having an impact for people that want to conserve. But there are some pretty big issues here, and I think this is going to be a gigantic November election issue.
Yeah.
What is your take on this? Who's going to win this issue? Because this issue could carry the day. People are furious, Jerry. You know that.
Yeah,
They're just furious.
Well, I don't know who's going to win, but I know who's going to lose. Quentin Hardy. I mean, is he completely out of touch with reality? Alternative fuels are the solution to this. So instead of whacking people at the pump, we whack them when they go to the grocery store to buy food that is incredibly expensive because of ethanol subsidies. Look, it is as simple and as plain as can be. We're not creating enough oil. We're not creating enough gasoline. We need to open up the places in the world, including in the United States, that have been off limits because of left-wing environmentalists and start pumping this stuff out of the ground and refining it.
Larry, can I get a side shot of Jerry so we can see the wax in his ears? I didn't say anything about ethanol.
Yeah, but you know what, Quentin?
What alternative fuel then?
Jerry
Windmills on cars? What are we talking about?
Jerry makes an interesting point, though. Most of the estimates say, at the very most, even if the technology comes home to roost, and we don't even have the technology yet for a lot of these alternative fuels, it'll never be more than 20%. There is no escaping the fact that either we're going to make gasoline out of natural gas, either we're going to make fuels out of nuclear, or we have to go to the outer continental shelf and Alaska. America's the third largest world energy producer. I don't understand why we won't let this country produce more and keep this economy going, Quentin.
I thought you were looking for solutions, Larry. And yeah, 3% of world reserves are up in the ANWR, and you can go up there and you can have all the environmental lawsuits that'll take years, or you could try this. Instead of being a cabana boy to the corn lobby of this country, drop the tariff on ethanol out of Brazil, which is competitive.
Well, actually, I like that. But, Vince, on this whole issue, it seems to me John McCain now made a very big mistake. The National Review called it the worst mistake of his campaign, and I agree. His cap-and-trade policy, his sort of reaching over to be a maverick. Whenever McCain's a maverick, he's really a liberal. And the reality is he now sounds like Obama, and he now sounds like Hillary, and he's given away an important chunk of this thing, which is pro-production.
I think the way to attack this is talk about alternative fuels, talk about drilling more, talk about whatever you want. That's so long-term in nature. What you need to do right now is strengthen the dollar.
Yeah.
Oil universally is priced in dollars. So if you strengthen the dollar, the price of fuel will come down, and that would be an immediate translation at the pump. Now, I believe you got to drill more. I believe you got to open the outer continental shelf. I believe you got to try for all the alternative fuels, all that stuff. But that will take years and years and years. What you need to do is strengthen the dollar, and I think Personally, the politician that comes out and says, Larry, I'm in favor of a strong dollar, period. No wink, wink. I'm in favor of a strong dollar is going to sweep the support of Wall Street.
Yes.
And then you and I are going to sit here if Obama says it.
It's going to be awesome.
And we're going to say, hey, this guy Obama's got it.
Jerry Bowyer on election night in West Virginia when no one's talking about the greenback. I agree. I say the first of the major candidates, McCain or Obama, who gets to the strong dollar is the winner. Right. And I could be sitting here. It may be very difficult. What if Obama gets there because he's got Volcker in his corner? But I think that a strong dollar in the short run is the answer to angry people with gas prices at the pump.
And why isn't McCain doing it? I don't understand why he's ignoring this opportunity. It's a great place for, if he wants to distance himself from George Bush, this is a way he can distance himself from George Bush and actually be right. George Bush has been a disaster on the dollar. Paulson has been a disaster on the dollar. Bernanke has been a disaster on the dollar. This is a place where John McCain can say, Washington doesn't get it, Bush administration doesn't get it, I get it, a great nation has a great dollar. I don't know why he's not doing that. Maybe you can tell me why he's not.
Now, Quentin Hardy, we've got two of the three Reagan legs. Reagan faced these problems in 1980 and 81. What did he do? First of all, he deregulated prices and put in a pro-production policy. Second of all, he had a strong dollar. And third of all, Quentin, he had low tax rates to promote economic growth, and permanent tax cuts is the way to help people who are seeing their incomes crimped by these gas prices at the pump. Now, that's the solution, Quentin. Which is the candidate here in 2008?
Larry, I was going to be so generous to you and Jerry, and now I must be parsimonious. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. You strengthen the dollar in part by balancing your budget. You keep cutting taxes all the time without getting the budget balanced. You're making a big mistake. You'll never get the dollar back up.
Wait, the dollar strengthened tremendously in the 80s. Did we have balanced budgets then?
We had tax hikes. Reagan hiked taxes. The dollar strengthened even more in the 90s when we really got there.
Deficits. Reagan ran large deficits, and the dollar got stronger. So what are you talking about? What, we're getting rid of deficits is going to strengthen the dollar?
You can do that.
How?
You can do it that way. You can do it that way, Jerry, at Paul Volcker interest rates, which suck money off of Jupiter and strengthen the dollar, but I don't think you can do that.
Look, Quentin, if you want to make dollars more valuable, print fewer of them. It doesn't have anything to do with deficits. It has to do with monetary policy.
Let's look at some. I got some interesting Rasmussen polls. Now, Scott's going to be on when we deal with the West Virginia primary later on in the program. Let's look at this tax story. The public doesn't like higher taxes, Quentin. Check this out. Tax hike effects, how they impact the economy. This is a May 13th Rasmussen report out today. 14% think higher taxes help the economy.